A dangerous parasite just beyond our borders has the USDA sending warnings to ranchers and consumers. THV 11's Catherine Rowley sat down with an expert to explain why the screwworm could cause beef prices to skyrocket if it gets to the U.S.
Traditionally, we don't see that, but last fall, kind of that natural barrier we had in Panama from South America, we started to see cases of screwworm pop up.
The screwworm is not in the United States yet, but that natural barrier was triggered after cases were 700 miles away from the U.S. border.
And this kind of alerted the USDA that, hey, we needed to be on the lookout because we can't control all wildlife movement from country to country, but we can control that livestock movement.
But what exactly is a screwworm and why is it so dangerous?
Screwworm is a fly, kind of like a maggot classification. And so the issue with the screwworm is that it lays its egg in an open wound, and those larvae then eat on live tissue.
The screwworm was eradicated in the 1960s in the U.S. But the USDA and the USDA are hoping that by putting a pause on cattle coming into the country, the threat of the screwworm would decrease.
And hoping that maybe we could control some of that movement and stop screwworm from entering the United States.
Because of the pause on cattle, the beef industry could look a little different in a few months than it does today. Thinking
about that border closing, the cattle coming from Mexico typically go into the feed yards in Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, and then will be on feed for 5 to 6 months and then would go into our meat supply.
Beef prices are not impacted at the moment, but Justice says that it is something that could be in the future.
So it'll definitely be something worth watching right now. How is this going to impact us late summer on into the fall in terms of our cattle inventory and our beef prices at the supermarket?
In Little Rock, Catherine Rowley, THV 11 News.
Interesting story. Again, the screwworm is not in the United States that we know of. Justice said that if you are a cattle owner, staying vigilant and checking your animals for wounds is the best prevention practice against screwworms.